The Open Test podcast is recording, and we're back. We're back, Joe Carlos.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm Calvin Smith. I'm here with my main man, Joe Carlos. I had a rough week, Joe, but today has been all about just insanely funny stuff. I have to tell you.
Well, that's good. That's a good way to end the week.
Yes, man. So I'm gonna start out first by saying that you recommended for me after a great conversation we had last night. You recommended for me to watch a gentleman on Instagram by the name of Country Wayne with a K.
Yes, it's a K.
And I spent the bulk of my afternoon after signing my notes laughing hysterically at Country Wayne. So you've never steered me wrong, Joe. You also turned me on to our man Desi Banks, among others. So
yes. I'm just so happy that you're now part of this, the Country Wayne universe. Even though you were a part of it, you just didn't realize it. But I'm just so happy that your universe is enhanced. All this is enhanced by being part of the Country Wayne, universe now.
I appreciate the enhancement. So I want to turn you on to something, Joe. After this recording, okay. I want you to look up T Money So Funny on Instagram. I'm actually gonna send you the link.
That perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, but
I'll check it out.
This is a young man from Memphis who has done a voiceover of one of the pivotal scenes in Lean on Me, as it were.
Oh, of course.
Where Joe Clark is dressing down his new staff that he's meeting for the first time and setting the tone, as it were. And in true Memphis style. So Joe, I'm right here. I'm in Nashville.
Right.
Nashville and Memphis have a friendly, not so friendly rivalry. So of course, I'm immersed in Memphis culture. I know a lot of Memphisonians. Shout out to Dia, to Stephanie, to Shar, all these people, T-Bug, all these people from Memphis, Charles, Slick, you know what I mean? So it's hilarious.
It's so interesting. Memphis got the basketball team, but Nashville got the football team.
Yeah.
I think, and the hockey team. I still think Nashville. Well, Nashville has a tax base for the basketball team, but probably not the interest.
Yeah, probably not.
But at least the WNBA team in Tennessee makes all the sense in the world, though.
Well, you know what we're going for is a Major League Baseball team. That's what they really want.
Yeah, that was in the movie. That was in the show Nashville.
That's what they really want. You want to totally disregard what I said about the show. No, I hear you.
That's fine. That was in season 1.
I was inconvenienced so much by that television show. There were so many places I wanted to go, and they were like, "Oh, we're filming right now," and So
sorry, buddy.
I know. I'm a hater.
So well, at least you own it.
All right. Speaking
of
Michael
Clayton, he's an asshole, and he knows it.
And he knows it. Exactly.
He knows it. And you're on the record. Okay.
Great film. Yeah. So speaking of, man, I have this theory, man. I have this theory.
I'm so curious about this theory.
I was in traffic the other day, man, and I was irritated because the person in front of me wouldn't merge with traffic as they should have. Give one, take one, give one, take one. And I happened to look inside of the vehicle, in front of me, and it was a young lady pulling at her weave. Oh, Lord. And then I looked at the make and model of the car, and I realized it was a Nissan Altima.
Okay.
And so I've noticed, man, that Nissan Altimas and Nissan Sentras, primary drivers.
That's the lowest on the
primary drivers
in their evolutionary chart. Yeah.
Primary drivers happen to be young ladies, not necessarily Black women, but young women who may or may not be on their phone, may or may not be doing whatever, man. So I give a shout out tonight to all, including my colleague, Dr. Muckle. She's a doctor, but the Nissan Altima drivers and Nissan Sentra drivers, shout out to y'all, man. Thank you.
Hey, man, it's an affordable ride. It'll last you a good 4 or 5 years. You take care of it, it takes care of you. The next thing up is the Accord.
Fair enough. My cousin Radius also used to drive an Altima. So shout out to her too. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Next thing up, I think, is the Accord.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
Yeah.
But
and that's just me. That's just how I roll. Those are the things I like.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm sure.
Don't co-sign on that. That's
I'm not.
that's
I'm not. I'm not at all. That's you
all
and you
right.
alone,
That's
Pally.
me and me alone. I'll eat it. Anyway, man. All right. So on a more serious note, because tonight's movie is a drama.
Yeah, it
uh
is. It is dramatic.
tonight is dramatic. We
To
we
say the
are
least.
discussing Christopher Nolan's. It's our first Christopher Nolan movie, right? Pretty sure it's our first Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
movie.
I'm almost positive of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Christopher Nolan's 2006, October 2006 film, The Prestige, starring one Christian Bale, one Hugh Jackman, one Michael Caine, Scarlett Johansson, Rebecca Hall, and one David Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie. Yeah, why not?
And Andy Serkis as well. A lot of. It's, I mean, it's it's.
Oh yeah. Andy's in it too. Yeah.
It's a pretty star-studded film, man, and
yeah.
it's I have a lot of thoughts about this film in terms of where it, in the Christopher Nolan verse, where what it means to him as a filmmaker and a lot of other things. But as we always do, we like to start with where were you when you first saw the film? What were your thoughts? All this kind of thing, man. What were your thoughts on the film the first time you saw it?
Well, the first time I saw it was this past week, over the last couple of days. I enjoyed it. It was a mind bender in many ways. It was very interesting. I knew there were twists and all types of twists. I suspected there were going to be some twists, but I'm not really into magic, but this was so intriguing and so well acted that whether you're into magic or not, or right. illusions or not, I think you have a far better appreciation for it after watching this film. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought the acting was superb across the board, particularly when you consider Jackman. I think he's playing an American, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was British, but he spent considerable time in America.
Well, his accent wasn't it was very continental, as opposed to Bale, being Bale. Sure. And I thought everybody brought their A game. I really enjoyed the film. What were your first thoughts when you saw it? I presume you saw it at that 24 screen theater in there.
I'm pretty sure I did see it at the Big Hundred Oaks million screen theater. I'm pretty sure I saw it. Well, so I had to think about. By this point, Jeff Jones was gone, so he had graduated. And a lot of the movies that I saw in that period of time were like, me and him going and catching 3 for $1, 4 for $1. So I may have caught this one actually when it made its first run on cable instead. Okay. But I had been anticipating this as well as the movie that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
The Illusionist, which
right.
We discussed in the pre-show. I think this was during that period of time where the studios would present same movie essentially.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds and Fast and Furious. Deep Impact and Armageddon. Volcano, the 2 volcano movies. You know what I mean? Like they would do that. And so, we had basically these two magician movies that were coming out at the same time. But at this point, I had already seen I'd seen Memento, I'd seen Insomnia, I'd seen Batman Begins. So I had Chris Nolan's season tickets. So I knew what I was getting into. I knew which would be the superior film. And so and I wasn't wrong. I enjoyed it immensely. The first viewing, again, I knew Christopher Nolan's shtick, but I kind of, in the way he was doing things, he was kind of alternating. So, he would have one movie that had twists, and then he'd have another one that was kind of straightforward, or it was comics driven, like Batman Begins. So I wasn't quite ready for all the twists and turns. But this was the movie of his that made me learn and know He's the master of that. He's Hitchcock to this. This is his shtick, and he does it extremely well.
This is a beautifully made film. I mean, absolutely beautifully made. And to your point about this is his shtick, and he does it extremely well. I mean, he mastered it. Not to mention, it's just breathtaking.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, I mean, his films are. I mean, but he really went there in this one. Well, I mean, he did in Batman Begins too. But I'm just talking about with the landscapes and just the scope and the size of the thing.
Sure.
But so he had parts of that in this, but he also had these tight spaces and these dimly lit.
Yeah.
Dean Tavares.
Well, it's Wally Pfister.
Yeah.
I mean, his cinematographer Wally Pfister is I mean, to your point, he captures his vision so well from the
shot behind me. Yeah, the shot behind me.
I mean, can you imagine the work that went into that?
No, I can't.
and the lighting is perfect. Everything about it, like, I mean, for a movie where they ask you, "Are you paying attention?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to. You
have to have. Yeah.
You have to pay attention.
And the details are perfect. I mean, like you on subsequent viewings, you're rewarded for paying attention to, little subtleties.
So I figured some things out fairly early.
Okay.
Because they were in our face.
Sure.
And so it wasn't a crazy notion. Because I figured some things out, it wasn't a crazy notion.
Right.
But I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
I'll just put it that way. There were some things that didn't surprise me.
I mean, I encouraged those that follow our social media to watch the film, before we talk, because I mean, it's and especially with the Christopher Nolan film, it's hard to talk about it without, And
if you haven't seen it, just stop.
Yeah,
stop now. Stop listening now. Because we're about to go. We're about to get into it. We're gonna get into it.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Watch it. I mean, that's what the podcast is for. We'll be there. We'll be on Spotify. We'll be on Apple.
Yeah, this will live. This will live.
This will live forever. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, man. I mean, where do we even start? All right, let's talk about the little things in the film, man. What little things stood out to you?
Well, please remember, I've only seen it once, so
sure.
There's a lot to take in. For me, I think the sleight of hand, the sleight of hand things. You ever see Smoking Aces?
Oh yeah.
So you know how Piven was always like doing something with his hands, because he was an illusionist or a magician, whatever, whichever one you want to call it. He was always doing little things with his hands. Bale, as Borden, was doing little things with his hands throughout the film, or the whole thing. I've got a shilling behind your ear, or the rubber ball. So there were little things that I really appreciated, the small objects that were featured in the film.
Okay,
whether it be a bird or the ball or the coin or him having him holding ScarJo and then playing with his wedding ring, flipping his wedding ring back and forth on his fingers.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. So that was a little thing for me. Another one was just it's not really a little thing. I think, the authenticity, I think, of the time. Was very good. Was a little thing, and I think it was strong, and how important it was for this live performance. Like live performance really was, this live performance stuff really was, that was entertainment. And everyone wants to be on top. So and then the last little thing for me, I really loved like the back room talks, after the show. Like in the locker room, it's kind of like, my brother's a comedian, as you know, and so when the comedians get in the back, and that's when they're really hilarious and talking shit and just at their absolute best. And I really appreciated. I kind of liked those few times we saw that, and when they were just young up and coming guys who broke into the game together.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked that part.
Yeah.
That was a little thing for me. How about you?
All right. So for me, the rivalries, and I mean, there's the rivalry on the face of the film, between Borden and Angier. Okay, but then there's Edison and Tesla. You know what I mean? And just the like both of them had obsessions, and their obsessions would bleed into other people's things and the things that they were doing. So there's that rivalry. There's the rivalry between Borden's wife. I suck at the names of people in these movies, man. But her and Olivia and Julia. Oh no, not Julia. Sarah. Olivia and Sarah. The rivalry between ScarJo and Sarah.
Rebecca Hall.
Yeah, Rebecca Hall. Just I mean, it's just rivalries all throughout the movie, man. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed to your point. I also enjoyed the magic and illusions in and of themselves. Getting behind the curtain, seeing how these tricks, these sleight of hand, what's real and what's not real, and what's at stake. The injuries that occur when when things don't go right.
Right.
Between getting the fingers blown off, getting the young lady having her finger snapped by and having the bird by the cage, and having the bird being killed.
Right.
Angier breaking his leg on the fall.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a lot at stake. Drowning. You know what I mean? Like, for the sake of entertainment. So I found that to be pretty great. And then the funny part about it is the Milton the magician, the guy they're working with at the very beginning, as the shills for him. He was actually the only real magician in the entire movie. Ricky Jay. It was also my man from Boogie Nights. He's Kurt the cameraman in Boogie Nights. Yeah. So I mean, he's a real magician, So enjoy seeing him in that role. But yeah, man, those were the things that really stood out to me, man.
Okay.
The things I enjoyed. So and realizing again, I'll tell you, Joe, this is the movie that rewards repeat viewing. So I can't wait for you to watch it again at some point and circle back and tell me what you think on a subsequent view. But like, with that said, what characters, who are your unsung heroes in the movie?
Well, I don't know if I don't know if there's an unsung hero.
Okay.
I not for me personally. I don't know if there is. I mean, the truth.
Okay.
Or secrets.
Okay.
And secrets, I think, are an unsung hero. I think the gamesmanship between the two of them is an unsung hero.
I like it.
Because it's a driving thing that like when they both have their diary or their book of secrets, the journals, excuse me, and they both talk to each other in the journal. I think that's like the ultimate, like, yeah, I know you're reading this right now and you're in your cell for murdering me. Like, huh? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Which, I'm like, huh? What is that? How? So
how indeed?
How? Yeah, how? So it's pretty interesting. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I mean, like, this is a hard film to choose an unsung hero, because, like, I mean, the cast is so tight. First and foremost, there's not a whole lot of parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. And everybody is pretty much, I mean, even the supporting actors in it, like, are pretty equal to one another. And
I'm going to say that Kane can't be unsung because he's sung. He's clearly the hero of the film.
Yeah.
In my mind. So it can't be him.
Yeah.
It can't, and I cannot be Michael Caine.
Sure.
Can't be person.
Sure. No, I agree totally. And I'm sure we'll circle back to that, because we've kind of talked about it a bit already. But no, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Let me ask you this, so just kind of on a different note. Who's the better magician? Who was the better magician, just overall, to you?
Well, they said it. I mean, they said it was Borden.
Okay. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Angier said it was Borden. Uh no, I do. I think
Okay.
well, I think it's like 50.1 to 49.9.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
the better showman was definitely Angier.
Yeah,
To me,
absolutely.
was Angier.
Absolutely.
And then part of it's just being Hugh Jackman, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just what you get. I thought the casting was great,
Yeah.
even on The Illusionist. Take a drink here. Even The Illusionist, those are better actors.
Yeah.
In my excuse me, more favorite actors for me. They're Paul Giamatti. I think he could be in anything. I mean, you could put him in School Days, and I think he would work.
Yeah,
or Do the Right Thing. I think he could. You know, I think he could be. I think he could play Aiello and Do the Right Thing. I really do. I really do feel he could do that. But I'm or Sal. You know, but I'm saying, Jackman and Bale, man. You know, I think it was very close on the magic part. But he's like, you've always been a better magician. He's like, yeah, I know. But I think the difference is it's the very thing he says from the beginning of the film. What does Kane tell them to do? What does Kane tell them to do? Go check out the Chinese. Right. So there's the Chinese magician. So they're standing outside watching him go and get in the car, and he says, see, he does this. This is the act. He's doing all this. He could walk.
Yeah,
he can do that. But this is the act.
Right.
And he's living it. He's living it.
Exactly.
And because Bale has no issue with living it,
right,
that makes him better to me.
Okay, I got you. I
agree.
I agree. So fundamentally, I agree. I think that Borden was the better magician overall. He like, you know, I'm a big wrestling guy.
Yes,
and he's kayfabe. You know what I mean? Like he's Macho Man. Macho Man never, like, if you saw Macho Man in public, he was Macho Man. He was never Randy Poffo ever.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Ever. He was never Randy Poffo. And so like Borden was always on and had to be, you know what I mean? To keep his you know, his thing going. You know, and even, you know, subsequent to his death, you know, he was still on, you know, Farron and Fallon rather, and Borden, you know. It was amazing. And the list
that's the thing, like they were both so that's the question, like were they both masterful magicians or not? I mean,
that's a great question, actually, Joe. And how are we? Well, I mean, you know, obviously the women in their lives could tell who was,
and they knew something was different.
Something was amiss. Yeah. So there's that part of it.
You can't be in both places at once.
Yeah, no man can. What's the Hawthorne quote, man? No man can wear a mask and be. I can't remember the Hawthorne quote, but that Hawthorne quote is him. So, but like, here's the thing about Jackman. I think he made more sacrifice. I think.
Yes, he killed himself every night.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like he lost his wife, kills himself every night. Ultimately, at the end of the, you know, by the time he masters the new transported man, you know, it just, you know, it spent time in America, persistently trying to get the secret from Tesla, you know, and you know, ultimately does and gets what he asked for. And he was told, you know, be careful what you ask for. He was like, the first thing, you should burn it. You never don't use it. And you know, driven by revenge, driven by rivalry, he ends up, you know, becoming this guy, losing a bit of, like, almost like my man Voldemort. Like, these are his Horcruxes, man, losing his soul.
So that's the thing. So like every night he'd make one more of himself and just have somebody sitting up there, and he would go fall and die, and then have somebody sitting up there. Yeah. And he would drown every night. That is the sacrifice. That is an amazing sacrifice.
Yeah.
To the show. That's why I felt he was a better showman.
Yeah. Okay.
Although he did not ever see. I mean, they don't even see the true art in what he did by dying.
Talk about that, because that's all he really wanted. That's why he was so upset about it. Like
he wanted the adulation.
Yeah, like nobody can see it, you know, and like the.
Yeah, what
the
about
whole
if we
thing
switch one day? You know,
Yeah.
what if we switch one? You know, so that maybe I can. No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what burned him up
I try to
root.
exactly. I try to get a understanding. I always try to get an understanding of like what kind of money we're talking about here. Obviously, you know, it was enough. I mean, he was already doing okay, Angier. But and we saw by you know, by Alfred's home, it was beautiful, and it was on a very charming London block. Which I think I've seen in countless films, definitely in any of the Four Weddings, or that crew, the Curtis Armstrong crew of I'm probably saying that wrong. I think Curtis Armstrong was Booger, but the guys who made Four Weddings and Love Actually and that whole crew of people. I mean, life was good, right? So I'm always curious, like how much, what's the payoff here? What's the end result? But I think, looking at it, he truly did, like you said, he sacrificed more.
Yeah.
And I don't think you get you understand it when he says, look at where you are. Look at where you are. And even then you can't see it. And then I'm looking, I'm like, these are the cases. And, Bale's just, he's a researcher, man. He's lying in wait constantly.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
And he'll lie in the weeds forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Livia Soprano.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Or Tommy D. Oh, it's you again. It's you again. Tell me what. All right.
Yeah.
Jerk off. No, but sorry.
I thought I told you to go.
So I come to.
Yeah.
It's him again.
Sorry. I thought I told you to go.
Yeah, man. Yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? You tell me now what? No, anyway, I gotta watch that thing tonight. But anyway, no, I think I mean, when you realize it, when they pull back and you see all the bodies there lying, and he says, "What did I tell you about the drowning man?" He said, "It's like being reborn." He said, "No, it's agony." And he walks away, and I'm like, "Oh, like he knows he's coming to kill him."
Yeah.
Or there is something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if I may, why was Cain on Borden's side?
That's a great question, man.
I mean, as I'm sitting here, I was like, oh, wow, I can't wait to talk about.
So is Cain on Borden's side, or is he on the side of magic or an illusion? Because I think that's really what it's about. I don't think he knew what the deal was until he knew what the deal was until he was done there. Yeah, and I think so I think the fact that the little girl, the daughter, is in play, I think that probably swayed Cain towards Borden's side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought that was pretty cruel of Angier, or Caldlow, whatever you want to call him.
Wardlow.
I think it was, I think that might have swayed Cutter to his side. But I mean, I still think ultimately magic was his thing. He wanted to protect the magic and the craft of what they were doing.
And he told him from the beginning.
Yeah. And he was spot on. You
can look and tell it's a little bit like, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah.
You can look. It's a little. But they do that on purpose. I think. Okay. I thought they did it on purpose. I thought they were like, we don't see it at first, because at first he's always looking away. It's you never really see his face.
Yeah.
Or anything. Yeah. But he's using disguises a lot.
Well, I think it puts us in the eyes of Angier, where we get so wrapped up and caught up in the plot. We don't even see what's right before our very eyes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
and she's saying it. What is your secret? And when she's saying, "I know what's the secret? Tell me the truth." When she's saying that, then I'm like, okay, something is gravely amiss.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm thinking like, what could it possibly be? But I don't know. That's when I realized, okay, something is wrong here, and it has to do with this other guy.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out what it is, but something is amiss.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, they switched up, and she's mad that night, and really, he's not. He's with the wrong one.
Right. All
right. No,
right.
yeah, he's not himself. He's with the wrong one. Right. And when he's saying I don't know, he's saying I don't know because he doesn't know, because I don't know who, we don't know which one what it was that tied the knot. I think.
No, I agree. I agree. I think when he's asking the question, he truly doesn't know because he was not the one. Yes. Yeah.
I wasn't the one that night. Like,
yeah. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Holmes. Like, it wasn't me.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. So, all right. So the setup for magicians, man. Man, I was trying to find the actual words, and I was so prepared for. I love it. I love it, man. All the tests. Let me take a step back before I even go there. The Tesla stuff, the science stuff, just so amazing to me, man. And Tesla, now, we got our guy, Elon Musk, giving props to Tesla, you know what I mean? But for old school scientists, Tesla was it was like, Edison gets the credit. Tesla did a lot of the work.
But he didn't get a lot of love, though.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. And so it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so all right, so in magic, the pledge, you know what I mean, the premise, this is what's going on, the turn, the actual events, and then the prestige, the trick, you know what I mean. I think that this is Chris Nolan's last time really showing us the prestige in any of his films, and going forward, and particularly like like you think about Tenet, you think about Inception, like he doesn't, now he's just leaving it to us to imagine. He's no longer taking us behind the curtain. This is his last time. This film was his last time taking us behind the curtain. Even Batman, the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, to an extent, like, he's no longer, I think he learned from the making of this film that it was more intriguing for your audience to just kind of leave them guessing, leave them wondering, leave them asking questions later on subsequent viewings, because he gave it all away in this movie. He told us everything. He told us everything in this movie.
Right.
He no longer does that in any of his films, like Interstellar, you name it. You no longer get the rest of the story from him. Now you're just left guessing. And I think he's more satisfied that way. And I think he learned that lesson from this film.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Interesting. What is your favorite sequence? It's not a film with a lot of like lines or whatever, but what is your favorite sequence or part of the film? Or what part keeps you coming back?
Ooh, that's a real tough question. I tell you, all right, I'll tell you this way. The scenes where he is actually learning things from Tesla and from the Andy Serkis character in Colorado Springs. Those are the scenes that, like, if I happen to catch it on cable or something like that, I'm watching from that point on.
Okay.
So I would have to say it's that part, as well as I enjoy like just kind of the mundane things that Borden does, like when he's in prison, the trick that he plays on the guard, the dinner that he has with the four of them, with Rebecca Hall, Fallon himself, and ScarJo. I enjoy that scene quite a bit, just because, like, he's almost letting his secret out. He's almost letting it loose. Like, this is right after he's been buried alive. And he's just happy to be alive, literally.
Right.
And, he's just cutting loose. And, I enjoyed that tremendously as well. Those were the ones for me. What about you?
I I did I liked the Colorado stuff. At first, I was trying to figure out like what is happening here, what's going on. But being out at Tesla's and just seeing just the amount of influence and the latitude Tesla was given to do what he to do his experiments, like wiring the town for free. And making sure the whole town, had electricity. It's kind of wild, but it also reminds us just how important London once was. I think so. The exposition hall where we first see Tesla, that thing there, I really liked that scene where and they're like, oh, it's gonna blow. This is unstable, and I got to get out of there. I really like that scene, that passage, just to give you a better understanding of the time.
Yeah,
and what was considered groundbreaking or remarkably new or different.
Yeah.
Also, if I have one more passage, it's going to be the end.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. That's true.
And because the conversations are finally being had.
Yeah.
It's not like. Mann gives us this. Michael Mann gives us the Vincent and Michael
and the
holding hands.
Holding
hands.
Okay.
We don't get that. We don't get that. We don't get Two-Face, and Batman.
Yeah.
We don't get the War of the Roses. The War of the Roses when they both fall.
Yeah.
And Michael Caine's hand is like on Kathleen Turner for a second, and then she throws it off.
Yeah.
We don't get that. They come to some resolution or some, not a I guess there is a resolution, I guess in a sense, but it's tough. This is he got his hands dirty.
Yeah.
By
quite literally.
Yeah, and they told him don't do this anymore. They told him don't ever use this. So it's interesting because I will have to watch it again just so I get the sequencing down, because essentially it's after the court case. He brings it back out.
Let's talk about this then. Let's talk about this because this is a Chris Nolan thing. This time jumps, right? Like, it's disorienting and done for
jarring
great effect. Yeah. So you really like that's another reason why you kind of have to watch it again, is to kind of orient yourself a bit. Now that you know the actual story and what's going to happen, you can orient yourself into, all right, so this is this part of the film, and this is this part of the film, and this is this part of the film, because he's basically like just splicing things into it like DNA, like here's here's AD, here's AD, here's D, here's T, here's S. Like it's crazy, So man, it's disorienting on purpose. But to your point, man, like you don't really know like where you are in space and time.
No, you don't. So, he goes back there, he checks it out, he sees the trap door. I'm still at a loss. So I did it. It always was going to create another version of him somewhere.
Right.
So he dies. Oh yeah, right. Because there's just been two of them. So he falls down and dies.
Yeah.
And then and automatically the other version of him is up in the balcony. Okay.
Right. Because you can recall from like when they show the scene of the first time he ever does it, like and the other guy's
kind of far away.
Yeah, he's far away, and he pulls the gun on him, like kills him. So like, and he said, I don't know, I never know which one I'm gonna be, whether I'm gonna be drowning or I'm gonna be the one on stage. I don't know. And that kind of, that kind of stuff, that's kind of a paradox to me, like, the soul and the mind. How do you know what's what? Like, you're a clone like, does the clone share your memories? Like,
yeah, I'm wondering, like, do you start over every day? Is it like 51st dates?
All right, Groundhog Day.
Your Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
yes, man. Yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
It's that's I'm gonna have to read some fan theories about this one. Because I'm at a loss, man.
And that's Nolan, man. Like, I mean, okay, so I'm on my sixth view of Tenet now. And wow. I consider myself to be a pretty smart guy. It's
sixth view. You put 6 times. I've seen it once fully through.
I like it. I kind of like.
I'm not falling asleep.
I kind of.
No, I liked it when I finally watched it. I still don't understand everything that happened.
Me neither. I thought I did after the third. I thought I did, but then I rewatched it. And I was like, I have no idea. So
my brother made me buy it. We thought it was for rent. He's like, just buy it. You're good. I'll give you the $25 back. I was like, yeah, okay. It's like $25. Like, bro,
it's a lot of money. I mean, it is, and it isn't.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, no. I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But now it's on HBO. You know.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
right. Exactly.
I could have gone by myself to a theater with a mask on and seen it for like $10.
Yeah, I could have had a V8.
I could have had a V8.
Brother. All right. So let me talk real quick about my man David Bowie, if you don't mind.
Why would I ever?
So, Nolan wrote this. He wrote Tesla with him in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Presented it to him. He initially said no.
What was he doing?
I mean,
I think he and Iman did have a baby around that time. Though.
He's doing David Bowie things, man. What is David Bowie ever doing? Or what was? Rest in peace, David Bowie. But in hindsight, he was glad he did it. From all accounts, Andy Serkis was mesmerized by just the opportunity to work with him and said it was everything he dreamed of. You know what I mean? I can't think of watching the film now. I can't think of anybody else I can see as Tesla. In my head, Nikola Tesla. I have no idea what Nikola Tesla looked like anyway, or what he was really like. I see David Bowie, and to the point where the video game that I'm closing in on finishing finally, Red Dead Redemption 2. An absolutely fantastic video game. Cowboy. I love cowboy stuff. So, and rest in peace to my Arthur Morgan. This is a spoiler for anybody who hasn't played the game. He does die of tuberculosis. He died of tuberculosis at 10:40 p.m. last night on my game. They have a section in Red Dead Redemption where they also have a Tesla-like character. And I'm just like, man, this is a David Bowie knockoff. It's David Bowie for me. And I just was, as somebody who was kind of disappointed as an adult in rewatches of Labyrinth, I was really glad to have something to hold on to for David Bowie. And I don't know, what do you think, Joe? What did you think?
I like David Bowie movies. Really, the two that stand out for me are Basquiat and this performance.
Okay.
Basquiat is Andy Warhol. He's usually playing some, not usually, but in those two films, he's playing some misunderstood, huge, larger than life figure. Sure. And I think he has a sensibility, since he's a misunderstood, larger than life figure. I think he has the sensibility and the chops to pull it off. As Tesla, it's a lot of Tesla stories, or Tesla acting roles, but I thought that he definitely brought some mystery to it, and a great deal of mystery, and yet he was cool, calm, and collected. I loved this. It wasn't exactly suspense, but he had a lot of. I said cool, calm, and collected. I should have said and confident. He knew that, we made this thing. We got you. We just didn't know that just outside that's where everything was going. Yeah. We didn't know that we had all these things out here.
Yeah.
So these hats. So and they show you the hats in the first scene. In the opening scene of the film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was a little brief. I would have loved to seen a little more, but maybe that's just enough. I think Bowie had 3 days on set, maybe 3
I
days on
think,
set.
yeah, something like that.
It wasn't longer than a week. I could tell he was not out there longer than a week. I'm sure that.
Yeah.
And so to that end,
Yeah.
maybe it was just enough Bowie, but
Yeah.
I thought he was very, very enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not an unsung hero or anything like that, but
No.
He was enjoyable, and actually the interplay. I think every single actor in the film was wonderful. The people who the judges and the judge and the lawyers, the theater owners, the daughter, his Jess. I thought she was great. I thought everyone was strong. I really did. I thought everyone was strong.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's just fantastic. Every aspect of the movie, man. And this is Chris Nolan, man. I mean, and awards time. I think it got an award. I think it what did it get? It got maybe like art direction or something along those lines, like nominations. I don't think it was very, very well recognized though in award season. I'm not sure that it was. And that's fine. It got nominations for art direction and cinematography. Wally Pfister.
It should have. Yeah, cinematography. We talked about that. It should have. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
If you Google "is the Prestige or the Illusionist better," and everything but popcorn.weebly.com, this is just a blog. This person says, although both films are very similar in many respects, they're not the same, and ultimately, The Prestige is a better film. The Illusionist gets too stuck in one genre, bogged down by the requirements of romance and not suspense, while The Prestige seamlessly blends mystery, drama, romance, and science fiction. Very well said. On a blog.
On the blog.
Yeah, very, very, very well said.
I agree.
And they stuck to the craft. There were human interest things, but the driving force was who was the best in London, and thus the best in the world.
Yeah, right, because that's the center of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it was. I mean, at that time period,
absolutely.
Cultural center of the world. If you're the best in London, you're the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like period.
Yes. So Wally Pfister did end up winning an Oscar eventually for Inception in 2010. And
he should.
Yeah, as well he should. I don't think he's not been nominated subsequently, but
he won an Oscar. He's got an asking price that's up there simply because he won the Oscar. He's fine.
Yeah.
Music has my kids asleep, in the words of Jay-Z. Like film has his kids asleep. They're not worried. they're good. Has his kids? He said, music has my kids fast asleep. And the way I understand that basically means he was basically what. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent. Jay-Z was saying he summer nights he would hear shotguns and guns and screaming and all this kind of stuff. He said, because of music, my kids sleep soundly through the night. Like he said, he would be up, but not his kids. They're sleeping through the night. It's nice. It's nice in Calabasas. It's nice in Beverly Hills.
All they might hear some crickets or something, man.
Maybe. Unless they've banned cicadas in LA. I don't know. No, not in LA.
Band cicadas. Hey, I love it. All right. So, all right, Joe. I think one day we should circle back to this. Much like for me, Cotton Club. That was my first viewing of Cotton Club. And subsequently,
but you were able to see the encore version.
Yeah,
which has a lot of scenes that weren't. I mean, they put 20 minutes back in the film.
Sure.
That wasn't there previously. I'm going to watch this again. I did the 48-hour Amazon rental. I probably got like two minutes left of it. 48 hours. But actually, it should be gone. I don't know how. I think I kind of gained the system. But because I definitely read it on Tuesday and started watching. But you know what? It was after midnight.
I think it starts. The clock starts when you actually watch it, right?
Yeah. So it'll probably be. I probably have like an hour left, and because I know I started watching like 12:03.
Sure.
Technically Wednesday, but it was Tuesday night I bought it. Sure. But anyway, having said that, I'm gonna I'm just gonna think it's $3.99 or whatever. Just we'll get it again and watch it. I wouldn't buy it. I think that should be a new thing. Would you buy it? No. Not personally.
I got you.
Because I mean, that jig is up.
Yeah.
But the illusion, I know the secret.
Yeah.
But and beautifully enough, we kind of said it, but we didn't really say it. Well, I guess we did kind of say we did tell one of the tricks.
We did.
The beauty, I think the beauty of this thing is they what drove them to be great was each other.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that it ends in death, but how else is it going to end?
Yeah.
It's just like in Heat in the coffee shop. I'm not doing anything. Don't take down scores. Yeah. I'm not looking to do anything else.
Brother, you are going down.
Brother, you going. What is that? Ball games and what is it? Ball games
and barbecues.
Barbecues. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a flip side to that coin, though.
There's a flip side to that coin, though.
Oh man, hey,
and we've met. That's that. So,
yeah. So, right.
The hoof. The hoof. Yeah. Basically, I've just realized another version of what he's saying. The hoof. The hoof is like the hoof. Can I get back to eating?
Yeah, right. Can we change the subject? Can we?
Yeah. No, it's a sin. No, it's a sin. Yeah. Got his paws.
You're so quiet here. You never say anything.
He's walking all his blood on it. It's like, what happened? Oh, he'll tell you. Oh,
yeah, he'll tell you.
I have a buddy who says, every time I talk, he's like, I haven't seen him so long. Just like Mama Scorsese.
Scorsese, man. God bless.
Yes, God bless. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man. I just, so where does all right?
I don't have a.
You don't have a ranking.
It's more about you. This is about you. This is
all right.
This doesn't rank. It'd be like me asking, where does Cotton Club rank for you? Like, where would it have ranked? I mean,
all right. So for me, all right, here it is.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not my favorite Nolan film. It's in my top 5 Nolan films. So it's right smack in the middle, probably for me for Nolan films.
But it's an outstanding film.
But it's an outstanding film. It's definitely the best movie about magicians in 2006 for sure.
And probably 2005.
Yeah, and because there was a wave.
Your point.
There was a wave of new of magician movies after that. It was like Now You See Me, like the ones with Morgan Freeman and all those guys. And they were some
Jesse
pretty decent
Eisenberg.
Movies. Yeah.
I had the beginning of the end for Spacey.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. We're starting to go down.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's so like it's a solid. I think the greatest thing I can say about it is that it was a movie that was you didn't go into it with a whole lot of expectations for Chris Nolan. And what you see is his greatness. Like, I mean, he's just making a movie and it's fantastic with like what seems to be little effort. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, Chris Nolan just pops up with a movie like The Prestige, and it's fantastic. So what can he do wrong? I'm not really sure.
Got
it. And just in terms of like, it's my favorite Hugh Jackman performance. This and Logan are my two, and The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman on Earth. This and Logan. So there's that. Christian Bale. I'm a big fan of The Fighter, which he won the Oscar for. Big fan of what's the other movie? I'm not so big a fan of The Machinist, although I'm a fan of what he did to make that role, all the weight loss and everything like that. But Batman. I mean, he's my favorite Batman. He's my favorite Bruce Wayne. With Keaton as a close second Bruce Wayne. Kilmer as a close second Batman. Okay. Yeah,
interesting.
What are your Batman rankings? I'm interested to know now.
I'm Keaton Bale.
Okay.
And I'm not really concerned with anybody else.
Fair enough. That's.
I mean, I'm a huge George Clooney fan, but I didn't believe it. I didn't believe he was Bruce Wayne. I do appreciate the work Val Kilmer put into being Bruce Wayne, and probably because his foil was Jim Carrey.
Okay.
That he had to be the straight man.
Yeah.
Remember the scene, the scene where he dresses exactly like where he's got that gray in his hair, and Bruce, or he has a hair a certain way, and then Jim Carrey has the exact same look.
Yeah,
down to the glasses, like the exact same look.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do that by standing next to Jim Carrey and not like lose it? Like, how do you get through a scene? You had to be working hard and concentrating.
Yeah, Val Kilmer didn't get enough props for how great of an actor he is. But,
I season 3.
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
We got some Val Kilmer.
I got some Val Kilmer on my mind in season 3. At least one and maybe 2.
Okay,
but at least one.
I'm ready for any and all.
We talked Val this season.
Yeah, we did.
But there's another one, maybe 2 that could possibly or come up. I don't know about the second one, but we'll get to it. Sure. I'll talk to you about it.
Sure.
But definitely there's one definitely.
Yeah.
That an unsung, underrated but cult classic performance that he provided in one of his films for next season.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
Can't wait.
Stephen Brown.
So speaking of which, man,
speaking of which, he came to the point.
We are finishing the season with the player next week. Jamal Nadeau.
Robert Altman. Robert Altman. Wow.
Yeah. So Altman. I've watched. I've purchased on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I watched. I gotta watch it again, man. It's a lot. There's so much going on. It's fast.
I'm so proud of you. That you've already watched this.
Yeah. So I'll be ready. Oh,
I'm never worried about that.
I'm super excited. And so faithful listeners, I know that this summer, Joe and I both have kind of, we've been living life. You know what I mean? Living. And can we live winning summer of
Gotta live winning summer. Gotta live winning summer.
So
only on V103.
All right. So
97.9. Sorry.
Right. Sorry. We are going to take a little break, guys. I got at least one more trip in me.
Yes, sir.
And so but we'll be back after we're going to do the player, and then we're going to get our ducks in a row and get our season together. We both agreed that our initial lists we wanted to make some revisions too.
Yeah, I got a couple tweaks.
A little tweaking. Some special guests here and there, Heather and Jan. Yes. I know we had discussed a little family affair. Something.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
we're blessed to have sisters.
Yeah.
We're blessed.
Yeah.
We're both blessed to have sisters.
Yes, indeed. And they have things to say. So they have thoughts. And I can't wait for that.
Shocker.
All right. But yeah, so I say all that to say, guys, we got a lot of stuff in the can, man. And I know we picked up steam and listeners as we've gone along.
And we're blessed in that regard.
Thank you so much. Listen to our old work, man. I got a lot of I tell you what I hear from people is Best Man, School Days, Different World.
Well,
Lately Heat.
Okay.
So we're getting a lot of I implore you, there's something for everybody. You might not like everything we talk about, but you're gonna like some of what we talk about.
Yeah.
We have music takes. By the way, as when we were starting our pre-show, Joe heard me listening. I was listening to the new Nas, and specifically Nobody, featuring Ms. Lauryn Hill. That's her name now, Ms. Lauryn Hill.
Got it.
And I'm not taking back a single word from my hot take that I had, but I will say that she's on fire on that verse. And so congratulations to Miss Lauryn Hill, who even manages to make light of all of the comments that people make about her. The bar that everybody keeps quoting on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere is she says that y'all making fun of me for being late, but I'm saving souls or something along those lines. So she gets it. She knows.
Okay.
Yeah, she knows she's she is who she is. But it's hot fire.
She is that.
Yeah, it's 5 die lines out of 5 die lines. 5 die lines out. Lauren, because she's spitting hot fire. I give props. So all y'all get off my back. I got a text early this morning from my friend Leslie, like, yeah, well, look who's back. I'm like, okay, yeah, Lauren did the thing. So meanwhile, hopefully Kanye will grace us with his album.
album at some point.
At some point.
At some point, who knows? Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows?
But yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so Joe, I'm gonna send you that clip of the Memphis.
I can't wait. Please do. Please do.
And in the meantime, you guys, we are on Spotify, Apple, Anchor FM, Google Podcast. We are on YouTube. The Instagram at the Open Task Podcast.
The Open Task Podcast.
We are out here, man, and we are gonna be here for a while. Season 3 is gonna be fantastic. We're gonna close out season 2 with the player. We can't wait to see you guys next week. So until then, we are the Open Task Podcast. Peace out.
Peace.